What is up, friend and fellow anti-netter? Scott Shepard here. And I am parked out in front of my house right now, and I'm about to set off and drive over to my office. But I wanted to first read this email. It is from a fellow Scott Shepard letter subscriber and anti-netter, Kathleen Spracklin. You guys have probably seen her. She's freaking awesome. There's really no excuses for you not to go out and set out and create your own independent intellectual life, your own independent writer's life, your own independent creator life, because Kathleen is doing it, and she's in her 70s, and she is, because, I'll take some credit for this, because of her anti-net Zettelkasten work and writing out by hand, her mind is freaking sharper than anyone. I'll put her mind against anyone's. And one of the things, I just got an email from her, and she wrote, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I'll read some of it in snippets. She wrote, TSSL 5, the Scott Shepard letter 5, has me bubbling over with joy. I will put this on the forum and invite others to do so as soon as Douglas posts that he has his copy. My tribe, writer moms, she spelled it writer-moms, who think they can't write at this time of life. And she started to fill out some of the items I talked about in issue number 5, the whole tribal triad. She talks about the courageous leader and her unique signature, playful title, and her UTSM, which you learn about in issue number 5. And, all of this, the tribal triad is really the intangibles needed in order to make a massive impact, to build a tribe of people that you impact and transform their lives. And also, in doing so, if you want to, you have the option of, and I think most people would like to, some people are in a position where they're already retired, maybe Kathleen is in that boat, but a lot of people also want to not only impact people, but they also want to be able to make a living from impacting their super fans, their tribe, meaning they want to be able to make a 6-figure income from it. But anyway, that's like the overall point of what we're talking about and what issue number 5 lays out. It lays out one of the most critical intangible frameworks for making that happen. And one of the things she wrote is the playful title. And I love her playful title. Her playful title is A Caregiver to the Writer Mom. And when I first read this, so I think she's on to this. She's on to something. She's on if we're playing darts, she's on the board. Now, we're going to get her and move her closer and closer and closer to the bullseye. And by the way, I've decided to start driving now. I'm no longer reading her email. But the main thing is we want to get her closer and closer and closer to the bullseye. And look, I started exactly where she started. When I was building the anti-net movement, and I'm still building the anti-net movement, it's an iterative process. We're building a world here. We're building a tribe of super fans, okay? It's almost like, imagine Disneyland, okay? Imagine the map of Disneyland. There's so many different worlds and lands and, different characters and different things. And that's what we're essentially building, okay? We're building our own world here. And Kathleen is on to something. I think she's narrowed in on focusing on her dream customer avatar, her dream reader, which is what she's calling the writer mom, okay? And here's my thing. Here's my biggest, the easiest and biggest thing for improvement that I see in this. Right now, the tribal label she has is writer mom, and that's writer-mom, okay? And what we need to do is we need to come up with some catchy, cool label for this. Something that is inspiring, something that resonates with Kathleen, and something that will also resonate and help her tribe self-identify. So ideas on this front, instead of calling them writer moms, we need to call them something like the first idea I had was pen moms, PEN moms, okay? Or pen mothers. Then I'm okay, well, that doesn't really quite resonate, and that's just potential. We need to start brainstorming. Another idea or option By the way, I'm like still freaking sick. I'm still like shaking off this cold. I'm riddled with antibiotics right now, so I need to take some breaths. So, anyway, the like other ideas, okay, are like ink. Maybe you can use the word inks, like ink mothers or something. My fellow ink mothers, my fellow independent, writing moms, my fellow, like we need to come up with a cool name, not just writer moms. So there's some magical label in there. Maybe like Skrill or Scribe, my scribe mothers, or my, writer moms. It's not bad, but it's just kind of generic is the problem there. So I'm like going through the same thing with my I have my anti-netters. That's my overarching philosophy. But then I'm working on something, and I've been working on it for, past like really year, honestly. I mean, it's 6 months has been like where it's been on target, but for the past year, I've been working on something called Right to Freedom, spelled WRITE to freedom. And so like, for me, I'm thinking, I'm like wondering if I'm going to be calling my people, those that are in my Right to Freedom incubator, I'm thinking of calling them, my freedom writers, or my WTFers, which I kind of like too, because it's Right to Freedom also is the acronym of WTF, and you can use your imagination for what that means. And then my dad I was talking to him the other day, and he was like, how about Riders on the Storm? Kind of like that old Doors song, like Riders on the Storm. Down, 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 down. Yeah. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. So, we want to come up, and we want to come up with like a cool, catchy name. So Writer's Mom is a little generic, but that's the right target. That's the right idea. So anyway, my advice for Kathleen and for all of you is come up with a playful, self-identifying tribal name that is unique. It's catchy. It's cool. And so keep your antennas up. Let it simmer for, months before you decide and come up with ideas like Ink Moms, INK Moms, Ink, like pen ink, Skrill, or I think that's what the word is, Skrill or Quill, maybe, I don't know, Scribe. So come up with a cool, catchy name for your tribal members. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. I'm going to actually send this off to Kathleen right away, and you guys are going to be getting it a little bit later on. So anyway, I hope this helps, and peace and love, and always remember to stay crispy, my friend.